Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us. First tonight, today marks the 12-year anniversary of the disappearance of Jennifer Kesse. She went missing without a trace in Orlando back in 2006.
Today, the family continues their aggressive search for her. ABC 7's Rick Adams joins us now live in Bradenton with more on the story tonight. Rick?
Yeah, Jacqueline and Scott, this is every parent's worst nightmare, every family's worst nightmare, and what the Kesses have had to live through is just horrendous. I'm now joined by Jennifer's father, Drew. And Drew, thanks so much for spending a few moments with us here.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And talk a little bit about the 12-year anniversary today. How difficult have the last 12 years been?
It never gets easier. Time does not heal wounds in this case, and every year it does get more difficult, and we get more desperate, especially when there seems to be no movement within the case year after year. We're honestly pretty much sitting still from day 3. With no really true new developments, so it's extremely tough. But you have to do it. You have to live with that, and you have to work through it to do what you need to do.
And you were in Orlando today. Discuss a little bit about what took place in Orlando.
Sure. The Orlando Police Department had a press conference, and what they did was they took one of the city buses and they wrapped it with Jennifer's face information, as well as the person who took her car, that grainy picture, and they will be driving all around the city, hopefully jogging people's minds. There's about 18 billboards up right now. The reward for Jennifer has been put up to $15,000, and there's been a dedicated detective put on the case for the next 6 months.
Okay, and what can folks do to help and just do what they can to help you out?
You can go to Jennifer's Facebook page or jenniferkesse.com. Her entire story is there. We have film of the person who dropped her car off and sat in it 32 seconds, walked away, and never looked back. You can see that. But, we need people to become familiar with it, and people who live there to go back and revisit the story again. Something just may jar your mind, or something that a friend says, my buddy talked about that. Go back and relive it. If by chance you called a tip-in the last 12 years, we're going to ask you to recall that tip-in. Some of the tips have just not been, many of the tips have just not been handled properly over the years. So if you think you called something in a value, do it again. They will take it, and they are ready for that.
All right, Drew, continue to stay strong and continue doing what you have to do.
And we appreciate what you do, because without awareness for a missing person, we're just lost.
All right, and again, thanks so much for your time, and God bless you and your family with what you're going through. And that is Drew Kesse, Jennifer's father. We'll have a lot more on this coming up tonight at 11 o'clock. Reporting live from Bradenton this evening, I'm Rick Adams. Back to you.
Okay, Rick, thank you so much. One man is dead and a Manatee County Sheriff's deputy is on administrative leave after a deadly deputy-involved shooting in Bradenton. Sheriff Rick Wells says deputies responded to a domestic dispute between 38-year-old Corey Mobley and his wife at a gas station. Before deputies arrived, Mobley fled the scene. After a chase, deputies came face-to-face with Mobley on 6th Street West. Sheriff Wells says Mobley repeatedly told deputies, quote, "I've got a gun for you," refused to show his hands and was reaching into his waistband as if he was going to pull out a weapon. One deputy shot Mobley a total of 4 times. Mobley died at Sarasota Memorial Hospital.
After a search of Mr. Mobley's person and also the area that he was located, we have not found a gun, even though he implied to our deputies several times that he had a gun.
The deputy's name has not been released. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office is continuing their investigation.
Northport's assistant city manager is now at the center of an investigation. Danny Schultz has been placed on paid administrative leave after being accused by a city staff member of bullying at work. Schultz oversees the city's human resources department, so the city attorney has been directed to hire an outside law firm to investigate the claims. Northport's mayor said this is part of a culture shift, insisting that staff members should come forward if they feel wronged.
The culture has shifted. I think that employees do understand that their commission definitely feels that they are worth something. They are worthy, that they deserve respect.
We reached out to the assistant city manager for comment, but have not heard back.
Time to check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at our first alert weather forecast. Bob?
Well, we have a couple of different things going on right now. For us, we're under the influence of a high-pressure ridge, and that should stick around for the next couple of days. And this disturbed area of weather here in the northwest of the United States, well, that's going to slip down into the plain states and eventually swing a front into the Gulf of Mexico. And along that front, an area of low pressure will develop, which will bring big changes our way on Sunday. And again, that low pressure heading off in a southeasterly direction will cause some disruptive weather over the weekend, specifically on Sunday. 58 degrees right now. We do have generally fair skies. There are some clouds around. Should make for a gorgeous sunset coming up here, and the dew point now at 46 degrees. That's pretty low, and with a north to northwest wind at 13, it makes it feel even cooler there along the beaches. And the barometer way up though, 30-17. That continues to rise at this hour. And as far as current temperatures go, warmer in Miami, 77 there, 65 and now in Orlando, and 54 degrees in Tallahassee, 56 in Jacksonville. Your planner for tomorrow looks good, although cool to start things off. Although temperatures will be in the upper 40s right around 6 o'clock, it will feel more like into the upper 30s to low 40s, and looks like we'll warm up only into the mid 60s tomorrow. We'll have your complete forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Bob. A plan that could put all of Florida in the same time zone while following daylight saving time throughout the year is moving ahead at the state capitol. Daylight saving time occurs between 2 a.m. on the second Sunday in March and 2 a.m. on the first Sunday in November of each year. This week, a Senate committee voted in favor of a plan to stop the semi-annual switch from standard to daylight saving time. The measure also seeks to put Panhandle counties in the same time zone as the rest of the state. Most of the Panhandle is currently in the central time zone, while the rest of the state is in the eastern time zone. Senate bill sponsor Greg Steube says moving the clock back and forth each spring and fall is no longer necessary.
If you look at the history of switching the clocks back and forth, the reason that it was instituted was in World War I to conserve fuel. Well, obviously we don't have those issues anymore.
Steube says the time change is hard on families with small children. He also says it's a huge problem for members who represent the Panhandle because they have a hard time scheduling meetings with the hour difference in time.
Florida Senate leaders are advancing a higher education budget that includes a major increase for state universities, colleges, and other post-secondary programs. The 6.6% increase includes a $187 million boost for universities and a $40 million increase in operating funds for state colleges. The bill includes funding to pay for 75% of the tuition and fees for Medallion scholars in the Bright Futures Scholarship Program. And the budget also includes $3.6 million for an ongoing plan to increase enrollment at the New College of Florida, the smallest institution in the state university system. Still to come in your Suncoast News, school officials in Panama City are trying to put an end to cyberbullying after a recent suicide of a 12-year-old girl.
And former USA gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar learning his fate in court today. We'll have those stories and more when we come back.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Around the neighborhood or around town, you'll feel good and look even better driving your new Fiat. For maximum performance, check out the all-new Fiat Spider. You'll flip over the superior handling and capability. Or follow roads less traveled in the Fiat 500X. So go big or go small. With prices starting as low as $13,999, you're sure to find a Fiat that fits your style during the Start Something New event, going on now at Sunset Fiat of Sarasota.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
New details on the investigation into the deadly school shooting in Kentucky as the victims and the community involved in Tuesday's shooting at Marshall County High School try to heal and recover. Officials are now looking into how and why a 15-year-old student opened fire on his classmates. More than 100 students were collected in a popular hangout spot inside the school when police say the gunman started shooting. 2 students killed, 18 injured, and at least 3 are in critical condition.
There was a lot of blood everywhere, and then people were getting shoved down, and so I just, I took off. I started running, I was just scared for my life.
The gunman has been charged with 2 counts of murder, of first-degree assault, all while a community continues to mourn, praying for healing and remembering the lives cut short at just 15.
Parents and school officials in Panama City are focused on combating cyberbullying. Last night, a school board meeting was held on the topic. This follows the recent suicide of 12-year-old Gabriella Green, a student from Surfside Middle School who was bullied. Some say it's tough to keep a close eye on things like social media for dangers like these.
Kids know how to circumvent keeping their parents out of their business, but parents have got to get savvier. Parents have got to get more into paying attention to what their children are doing and what they're being exposed to.
2 students were arrested and charged with cyberbullying and cyberstalking in connection to Green's death.
Disgraced former USA gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar will likely spend the rest of his life in prison. A judge in Michigan sentencing Nassar to between 40 and 175 years in prison for sexual assault today. This is in addition to the 60 years in federal prison he will serve for child pornography, as well as whatever sentence he receives next week on 3 charges he pleaded guilty of in another county in Michigan.
And you survived the 60 years in federal court first, and then you started like 40 years? You've gone off the page here as to what I'm doing. My page only goes to 100 years. Sir, I'm giving you 175 years, which is 2,100 months.
That judge also said it was her privilege to sentence Nassar. More than 150 victims, either directly or through statements read on their behalf, told their stories of Nassar's abuse during his sentencing hearing. In a brief statement, Nassar said the victims' words have shaken him to his core.
And stay with us. We'll be right back with your First Alert forecast.
My name is Stephen Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured in an accident, whether or not it's your fault, your insurance company might be responsible for some of your expenses. So give us a call. We've got your back.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's 2017 most trusted brand, best overall brand, and lowest 5-year cost to own. And Subaru Impreza is an IIHS top safety pick for 11 years running. Lease the all-new Subaru Impreza for just $185 a month, or get 0% financing and 0 down with complimentary maintenance included. That's right, not 1 penny down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Start the year off with big savings during the Start Something New event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Why settle for less when you can shop the Suncoast's largest selection? Get KBB's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for just $24,999. Or drive away in a beautiful new Chrysler 300 for as little as $21,999. That's right, save over $9,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
My daughter, when she was off to school today, she walked out of the house with a short sleeve shirt on, and then she ran back in and got a sweatshirt. It was cold.
Smart, yeah. It wakes you up real quick. This morning, temperatures were cool. It will be the same tomorrow, too. We'll warm up in the afternoon, upper 60s, but still kind of chilly to start things up. And we were talking about the First Alert Weather Day on Sunday. You know, it's still the possibility there with a lot of events taking place, and people have been contacting me wanting to know, you know, what's going to go on with that. Well, the European forecast model was suggesting that maybe the rain will come later in the day on Sunday. That was yesterday's model. We're waiting for the new model run. We'll have that on our weather app. We'll have an update on that too, so you want to download that, and we'll have it on our Facebook and mysuncoast.com when that new one comes in. We are looking at Van Wezel webcam showing kind of windy weather out there today, causing the seas to be stirred up a little bit. You can see that wave action, and then some clouds coming in from the Gulf, and that's in association with some upper level winds, a little disturbance there, but no surface reflection, and in reality, high pressure at the surface, keeping things pretty quiet up and down the coast. Now, temperatures will get chilly again tonight, 54 degrees by 11 o'clock. Under generally fair skies, we are anticipating some upper 40s tomorrow to start things off. And with that wind still at around 10 to 15 miles an hour, it will make it feel into the upper 30s to low 40s to start things off tomorrow. There's that jet stream just racing across the northern part of the state right now. We've had some of that mid-level cloudiness around. You know, this data void out here in the Gulf of Mexico sometimes can trick you, and a little disturbance may flare up, but it looks like for the most part with that surface high so close nearby and building in our direction, we're not going to have much of a problem with that with any kind of rainfall anytime soon. But the atmosphere will moisten up a little bit, and the indications are an area of low pressure will develop over the northern Gulf of Mexico beginning over the weekend and then track across the northern part of the state. We will get some rainfall here, there's no doubt, on Sunday. The timing is still a little bit suspect. Right now, 58 degrees. We have some clouds around, and the dew point is at 46. Winds out of the north-northwest at 13, and the pressure is still high, 30-17. That continues to rise. The high was right at the average, and the low was pretty close to it, too. So a fairly typical day, although it felt a little bit colder this morning because we were 65 for a low the previous morning. Well, the temperatures around the state, 50s over the northern portion, 65 in Orlando, still a balmy 77 in Miami, 70 in Key West. Tomorrow's forecast does call for a mixture of sun and clouds throughout the day. High temperatures will get close to seasonal averages, right around 68, 69 degrees. Inland areas maybe in the low 70s at Lakewood Ranch, and also into Northport we'll see temperatures right around 71 degrees. Futurecast showing that moisture in the upper levels of the atmosphere thinning out as it moves off to the east, and we'll look for a decent day tomorrow with some sunshine mixed with the clouds, and then more of an easterly wind moves in on Friday, and that will tend to warm us up. Mid-70s for highs on Friday, and on Saturday, mid to upper 70s. Look at this now. The cold air starting to plunge southward. 19 in Buffalo and Toronto, Montreal at 12. Rapid City, 36, a little bit warmer in Denver now, 41 degrees, and 56 in Kansas City, 58 in Oklahoma City, Dallas at 63. And 54 degrees in Macon. So temperatures are starting to moderate a bit over the deep south, but another blast of cold air is on the way. We'll talk more about that with this particular model, showing you that the deep purples indicating the cold Arctic air coming down over the Great Lakes. And then here comes another blast into February. This is another big chill event that will take place across much of the central United States and the Northeast. Some of this will slip into our area come late on Sunday and Monday of the first week in February. For boaters tomorrow, northeast winds at 20 knots out there. Seas still 2 to 4 feet in the morning, subsiding somewhat in the afternoon, so choppy turns into a moderate chop late in the day. And as far as the forecast goes, here's what we see. We have partly cloudy skies tomorrow, 68, 74 for your high on Friday. Nice day. Saturday, increasing clouds. Now, the chance for showers is still there at 70%. Timing may now be pushed a little bit further off toward a Sunday afternoon, a Sunday night, and then slightly cooler temperatures, but not extreme for Monday through Wednesday. Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you. And Bob will be up next with the next hole on the Dream 18. Stay with us.
First out the door when it matters most. For more than a decade, he's been right there, everywhere. And when American jobs are on the line, he leads the charge. ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast, and we thank you.
Motor Trend said the new Alfa Romeo Giulia is hands down the best sports sedan you can buy today. And named it the 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
You don't want to miss the annual Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. It is the largest orchid show on Florida's West Coast with thousands of blooming orchids on display and for sale. You'll also find orchid growing supplies, artwork, jewelry, accessories, and free classes. Make plans now to attend the Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. Go to vaos.org online for more details.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC 7 is seeking an account executive to join our winning sales team. This is an outside sales position covering the Tampa DMA. Visit mysuncoast.com/job of the day to apply.
When evaluating the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, Car and Driver magazine said every crossover should be this good to drive. We agree. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
It is time to make another stop on the Dream 18 as we profile some of the best golf courses in the area.
Bob Harrigan takes us to Kingsgate Golf Club in Port Charlotte.
Well, welcome to another edition of Dream 18. We're in Port Charlotte at Kingsgate Golf Club, and joining me now is Mike Williamson. Mike, pleasure to meet you and be out here to the golf course.
Yes,
what do you got here?
We're at a little executive golf course here in Port Charlotte, 3,200 yards from the tips, par 3s and par 4s. We are open to the public. We do have memberships available. We have a restaurant that's open to the public.
Yeah, I noticed the clubhouse is really quite expansive there, too.
Large clubhouse. We also have a large banquet facility here. We can accommodate weddings, any type of receptions, birthday parties. Anything that you might need here.
So this hole, tell me a little bit about this hole we got.
All right, so we're at hole 13 at 289 all the way back. Narrow fairway, you got water on the right, you got OB on the left, but you can be rewarded with a birdie here because, again, 289, you got the option to hit a driver or you can hit iron off the tee.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the driver just because, you know, what the heck, why not, right?
That's it.
Let's give it a shot.
Okay.
Thanks.
That'll play all day.
That'll be all right.
Yup. Right down the middle.
All right, Mike, let's go get him. So here we go, Mike. Not too bad, middle of fairway.
89 yards.
89 yards.
To the center of the green.
Yep. Little wind in the face.
Little wind in the face. As you can see, that flag is tucked
Back
right on the corner.
Yeah.
So.
And it looks like it slopes.
Everything's going to kind of slope that way. I would say your best bet, aim for the center of the green, just get the ball on the dance floor.
Right, I think that's a good call. Let's go do it. Go, go! Shape,
We're in good shape.
Oh yeah. That's a makeable par. That's a makeable par putt. All right.
Putt.
Got it, man. Hey, Mike, pleasure. Thanks a lot for taking us out here.
Thanks a lot for coming out.
Thanks for watching another round of Dream 18. It's a great executive course too, and you know, you got to work on your irons to score, and that's the way to do it. And I was in the clubhouse. We were waiting for the fog to burn off to make it look a little bit more sunny out there. Yeah, and the people there were so nice. You know, all the different groups that come in, they have a great tight-knit community there.
Yeah, nice par.
Thanks.
World News Tonight with David Muir's next.
We'll see you again at 11. Have a good night.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
The classic film Singing in the Rain is coming to the Players Center in a live stage show opening January 17th. All the dances and all the songs you've come to know and love, all a part of our Wild Broadway series. Get your tickets now for this limited run by calling the Players at 365-2494 or visit us online at theplayers.org. You too can be singing in the rain.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get Debt-Free Now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.